I want to bring in to react to all of this. Harvard Law professor emeritus and author of Get Trump, The Threat to Civil Liberties, Due Process, and Our Constitutional Rule of Law, Alan Dershowitz. Alan, good morning to you. So many questions for you. Let's start with the legal side before we get to the politics of this. So again, the indictment is not, until it's unsealed, we don't specifically know what's in it. But the thinking is that he's going to go after the former president for falsifying business records. That is a misdemeanor. To elevate that to a felony, he has to prove that President Trump had an intent to defraud. Your thoughts on what the legal side of this is so far?
Start with the most likely felony that's been committed in this case, and that is if somebody on the grand jury, prosecutor, grand juror, leaked the fact that there was a vote to indict. That is a 1 to 5 year Class E felony under New York. So Bragg now has a prima facie case that a crime has been committed right in his building. But as far as I know, he's not investigating it. Now, we don't know who did the leak. It's conceivable it could have been done for somebody in the Trump administration, but I doubt it because they seem to have been taken by great surprise. So the most likely source of the leak is someone from within Bragg's office or within the grand jury. That's where the focus ought to be, because there you have a crime, and then you try to find out who committed the crime. It's the opposite of what happened in the Trump case. In the Trump, they said, let's get Trump. Title of my book, Get Trump, comes from the campaign pledges of the district attorney and the attorney general of New York. Let's get Trump. We'll figure out what crimes there might be after we get elected. They get elected. They spend years searching for crimes.
Sure.
They find. So they make up a fake misdemeanor about corporate records. Then they try to piggyback a federal felony on that. Now, again, we don't know what's in the indictment. That'll probably get leaked, too, by the same person who leaked the fact that there was a vote. So until we know what's in the indictment, we can't know for sure. But from everything we know now, this looks like the weakest case in modern history. And when you have a Democrat who had run for office on the campaign to get Trump, and he's trying to indict the man who's about to run against the head of the Democratic Party, namely President Joe Biden, you better have a slam dunk case. Now, we don't know whether there's a slam dunk case, but from everything we know, this seems like an extraordinarily weak case and an extraordinary abuse of prosecutorial discretion. But let's keep an open mind, wait and see what the indictment says. But in the meantime, there should be an investigation of was there a leak, and if so, who did the leaking?
Okay, I don't have a lot of time left, but real quick, President Trump has responded on Truth Social. He says they only brought this fake, corrupt, and disgraceful charge against me because I stand with the American people. They know I cannot get a fair trial in New York. Alan, real quick, can he get a fair trial in New York?
Absolutely not. Do you think any juror or judge is going to want to come home to his family and friends and say, I'm the man who freed Trump and allowed him to run to become the next president of the United States?
Sure. What
What happened to me this vineyard where I lost all of my friends because I defended Trump in the Senate is only a small version of what would happen to any judge or juror who acquitted Trump. So, no, this case has to be moved to Staten Island or to upstate New York, somewhere where there's a possibility of getting a fair trial. Manhattan is not such a place.
Staten Island getting thrown out there as a possible location as well. Alan Dershowitz, thank you so much for being here.